Hey, what's going on, family? It's your boy MTV checking in with you one more time with another episode of Poolside Chats. Well, technically, this is not another episode. This is the conclusion of last week's episode where I sat down with my bro Jimmie Maggette to discuss, his coming up in Chicago, moving out to LA, becoming one of the biggest promoters in all of Hollywood, and then how he transitioned out of the nightlife and into the church life. So that's what we talked about in part one of the episode. This week, in case you didn't get a chance to hear last week's episode, Jimmy's younger brother, Corey, actually is a former NBA player, played, I believe, 14 seasons in the NBA. Is currently playing right now in Ice Cube's Big 3 League. So we had a lot to talk about as far as basketball is concerned, the NCAA, the NBA, and how a lot of times the player needs to learn how to do what's right for him and not worry about the organization being loyal to you, because most of the time they won't be. You know what I mean? Of course, it wouldn't be right without having a little bit of final discussion and playoff predictions. A lot of things that Jimmy predicted have come true so far. So make sure you listen to that and also get his accounts on where he figures LeBron's going to be at next year. And make sure you listen to the end, man, because in closing, Jimmy, who is an ordained minister, Elder Jimmie Maggette, he actually prayed for me here on the air, man. It was really dope, man. He prayed for myself, prayed for the show, and prayed for all the listeners. So make sure you listen through all the way to the end to be able to hear all of that. So once again, back at it with Poolside Chats. Appreciate y'all listening.
I'm a Cheeto, she know, he know, the streets know I get 'em by the kilo, me know, if you need those, holler on a dealer. I'm a Cheeto, she know, he know, the streets know I get 'em by the kilo, me know, if you need those, holler on a dealer.
Oh, without question.
Many more great ones to come.
And I'm going to transition because one of the main reasons I wanted you to come on was to talk these NBA finals and talk this basketball. We're going to take a shot before we move forward. We're going to take a shot. What time is it? I know you got somewhere to be. Oh, we got time. Okay. But, first question I asked you was LeBron and Kobe.
Okay.
And you said
Kobe.
Now I need to know why.
I'm gonna say it like this. I'm not saying LeBron yet.
That makes sense.
But LeBron is emerging to be the
He's
next.
15 seasons in. He's still emerging.
Because his what he's done has been so different to the culture.
So different.
Now, like we talk Kobe because Kobe's done, right?
Mm-hmm. I see what you're saying. Like LeBron's still building his legacy and Kobe's legacy is done.
It's so much more. Like, I'm waiting to see LeBron actually be the first player to play against his son. You know what I'm saying? I believe that could be. I believe that could happen.
They really is.
Because his son is just that good.
Yeah, he really is.
And LeBron is just that good.
Yeah.
And just that much more in shape. Like, this dude played 82 games. After 15 seasons, he played 82 games. And show me somebody in the industry that has done that.
It was a smidge away from a triple-double. Like, averaging a triple-double for the season.
Show me an NBA player that has played 82 games in their 15th season.
That's respect. I'll toast to that. I'll toast to that.
Toast to that.
What I'm not going to toast to is, you really think Warriors is the front runners to win this year?
Not athletically, but mentally.
Really?
Because they've been here.
Been there.
They've done it.
Good coach, too.
They have.
Really good coach. I feel like Steve Kerr's a little underrated.
I totally agree. Everybody keeps saying Mark Jackson built that team. Yes, he built the team, but Steve Kerr took the team to the next level. Leave it alone. It's over with. Mark Jackson is definitely a strong foundation, a strong catalyst. He built a lot of integrity.
He would still be a great coach today. He would still be a great coach.
I don't even see why Mark Jackson is not even coaching the team today.
That's what I'm saying.
Which all these, it proves that he can go to an organization and bring something different.
Right.
And be able to not be so basketball. But he took time to build the integrity and the character of the people.
And the correct way, too.
Right.
But both situations he was in. You know what I'm saying? In LA and in...
It's the same thing. Being a club promoter and a preacher. Like, Man, like, think about it. Mark Jackson is a preacher and a coach. Like, he has so many things, so much he has to balance.
I forgot about that. Yeah, that's facts.
He was literally flying back, preaching at a church every Sunday, still running the team. And they still were successful.
And he built
a lot.
He built through the draft too. In both situations,
he instilled integrity and character in those guys. Not saying that those guys did not have it, but he showed them a different part of the culture, and they bought into it. And to me, what he built in them was instilled in such a positive way that when Steve Kerr came, they was able to appreciate Mark Jackson for what he did, and respect Steve Kerr enough to give him a chance.
It's easier to open up to Steve because of Mark.
Because you got integrity, you have character.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, I mean, that's what I believe they put in them to do those things. But Steve Kerr is, I mean, he the one that sustained it. He got to get his props because he the one that got the ring.
Right.
You know, he still went to the he still went to the next level and did it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I can say about the Warriors, because if you look at the Warriors as a complete organization, they have every needed tool.
Yeah. Bench.
They have every need,
stars,
and not only are those tools there, those tools have bought into the system. Everybody knows their role. If you look at their bench, none of them look disgruntled. All of them know what they're supposed to do, whether they play 1 minute or 100 minutes. They know what their role is. They bought into the system, and they've been there for more than 2 years. And they played together for more than 4 years as a team. Now, when you look at it in that perspective, can't nobody beat that.
That makes very good points, and I agree with you on a lot of those. What is the reason you feel the Rockets are not a threat to that?
You never asked me that question.
No, I'm asking you now. But you saying the Warriors are the front runners, so that means the Rockets not a threat.
No, but I'm saying that the Warriors are the front runners.
Okay, you're right.
If there's anybody that can threaten,
you're right. I see what you're saying.
If there's anybody that can threaten what the Warriors got, you asked me who's going to be the champs.
I got you.
I said the Warriors because of their IQ, and I also said not because of them physically.
Got you. So because of the IQ. Let me rephrase the question.
Now the Houston Rockets is somebody that
can
threaten
the Rockets can threaten that.
The Houston Rockets is a smidget. They're Stephen Curry 3 away.
I got you.
From winning or losing of beating the Warriors.
I got you.
To me, it'll come down to James Harden, Stephen Curry. Which one of them gonna actually hit the 3 and win the game?
Yeah, right. And shouts out to James Harden. Spent many a summer in Toxic.
Yes. James is my boy, and I think a lot of us have to start to pay attention to the whole framework of the NBA, man. You know, like people telling me, I'm getting calls and people yelling at me talking about Indiana gonna beat Cleveland.
Get out of here with that.
And I'm like, okay.
Get out of here with that.
I said, again, LeBron has been there 7 times.
Man.
That boy know how to go down 3-0 and come back and win 4 in a row. Not because he know, but because he's done it.
Right.
You know, so this is where experience always wins. If you want to promote a club, go ahead. Try to do it against me.
Right.
I'm gonna defeat you.
You might have a really good opening night.
Right.
Your opening night might be popping,
but I'm gonna get you.
Yeah.
Now I still strongly believe that LeBron James is the best player in the NBA right now.
Without question.
He has 15 years of pounding.
It made
15
me
years
laugh
of people not believing
when
him.
people said that Kevin Durant surpassed him last year.
Because we talked earlier about instant gratification, right?
Exactly. What have you done for me lately?
So what people see is what they see right then. And 9 times out of 10, the people that's telling you who they think gonna win, the people who they think gonna be better, are talking about something right then. They didn't take into account all the stuff that this boy in the head. Like I tell people, leave LeBron alone, man. Like Okay, guess what? Here's another great thing that I like to argue about is people was mad because he traveled and went to other teams and did what he wanted to do. I'm sorry, but my brother is an NBA player.
Right.
And I hate the way that the system treats NFL players, NBA players.
It's trash.
When my brother got injured, they told my brother that my brother first year, let me go back, his first year as an Orlando Magic player, he had the best numbers. He was one of the top 50 people in the league. They told him that he's not going to leave, told him to buy a house. You're going to be the franchise of this team. We bought a $3 million house, got the keys to the house, and didn't even move into the house.
Y'all getting inside information right now.
Because he was traded 2 weeks later after they said to do that. So, didn't we grow up to be able to make our own destinies?
Right.
These coaches, these general managers, these owners,
they slave owners pretty much.
They run it like it's a farm.
Yeah, they slave owners pretty much.
Look what they just did to Dez Bryant. But everybody mad that Dez is leaving. But what about if Dez had an opportunity to sit back and look and say, where do I want to go play?
If I was Dez, I'd go to Philly.
I'll do what this world that we live in, is they say it's survival of the fittest. So why don't we get an opportunity to do what we say we want to do?
And especially like it's so powerful what you said about like the NFL contracts and whatnot. I mean, excuse me, about like the NFL. You know what I'm saying? And like the NFL is like gladiator. You know what I'm saying?
Every organization, whether it's NBA, hockey, baseball, soccer, football, you are the product.
Yeah,
they move you the way they want to move you.
The reason why I say the NFL is like gladiator because like you spend your life crashing into another person,
and your contract is not even guaranteed.
Not even guaranteed. Not even guaranteed.
So you can't debate if those guys love the game. Because they love the game because their contracts are not even guaranteed.
Not even guaranteed.
At least baseball and other
NBA
sports are guaranteed.
Right. Like when you sign your name on the dot, you're going to get that money.
No matter what, that's your money.
NFL, you sign your name on the dot, they cut you 2 years later and
2 years, they can cut you 10 days later.
10 days, like, and bring that shit right back.
I've seen people ask for the signing bonuses back because they've got cut in the team.
Or like some off the field issues will happen. Give me that signing bonus back.
I've seen a lot of those things, and so I applaud LeBron and other players for going where they want to go,
right?
Making a decision that they want to make and making the top money that they can make.
And nobody ridicules what is Dan Gilbert for all those remarks he made when LeBron left. But as soon as LeBron wanted to come back, you open him with welcome motherfucking arms.
And guess what? He was sitting in front of that, in the middle of the Cleveland Cavaliers arena, smiling and shaking his hand that he's back.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, like,
everybody
a lot of us do a lot of talking and being mad about the players. When are we gonna take a stand and start talking about the owners and how they do business? We'll never have that conversation because guess what? They're the ones that write the checks.
Because like another great example is Rashad McCants. Like, why is he not in the NBA right now?
Why is Kenyon Martin, Steven Jackson, Corey Maggette, Mike Bibby, Al Harrington,
all these niggas that can still play,
Quentin Richardson, Darius Miles.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I ain't gonna say Darius Miles because that nigga came to Cleveland was trash. That nigga just pissed me off.
Sometimes it's not even. It's more mental.
I got you.
These guys is athletes, man.
Yeah.
They just not happy where they are because of the way they're being treated. Because a lot of those guys, I literally saw.
And the majority of these owners treat their players like fucking slaves. Go ahead.
They all do. Yeah. I literally saw my brother lose the love of the game because of trades and the talk of trades, the rumors and this and that. And then when you start playing, unless you was Kobe, unless you Shaq and all these people.
It's like 5 people in the league.
You are expendable.
Look at how San Antonio doing, like talking about Kawhi right now.
To be honest with you, San Antonio is the best organization.
I believe it. I really do. And like they
are really shitting on Kawhi right now.
They do, and really, I think that's more media than it is an organization. Because I've had an opportunity to meet these people.
Gotcha.
And the way that San Antonio runs their organization, they've literally won awards within the NBA for years being the best organization.
I respect San Antonio a lot.
Like Popovich, when my brother was with San Antonio the year that they won the championship, my brother got hurt. Nate Robinson undercut him, hurt us, and he was going to be out for 3 weeks. And Pop said, look, I'm not even going to tell you that you might make it, and I'm not going to do that to you. If you're not ready in 3 weeks to play, we can't use you because this year our goal is to get that championship ring. So that's how they run their organization.
Be honest.
They tell people straight up, this is what's happening. As opposed to other teams that have told and given all these,
Jerry Jones,
tell you we love you and all these other things, and then trade you the next day. Mm-hmm. They didn't even tell my brother when my brother left Orlando that he got traded.
Dang.
We was at the bowling alley.
I'm about to say, I can't remember. It was something I
My
said
brother was
recently.
at the bowling alley, and he was bowling, and as he bowled his ball, he looked up at the screen, and across the bowling alley, breaking news, Orlando Magic trades Corey Maggette. That's crazy. That's how he found out.
It was somebody here recently that found out they got traded on Twitter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
those are things that happen, and when you have an opportunity like a LeBron or Kevin Durant or any one of those guys to now take the power of where you want to go and how you want to play and how you want to get paid out of the hands of the owners and the organization, I applaud it. You should do it. So Cleveland was burning his jersey, stepping on it, spitting on it,
all that shit.
But look at what they're doing now.
When he came, hey, you know what's funny? When LeBron came back to Cleveland, the murder rate dropped, the theft rate dropped, every crime went down, everything. When LeBron came back, everybody was happy and everything changed.
It's the good old boy mentality.
Man, I got homies in Cleveland. Like, remember I told you I'm gonna be in Vegas next week with my homies from DMST, the podcasting homies. Mm-hmm. They was like, it just feels different. Like niggas bump into you, like, oh, my fault, bro. You good? You all right? Like,
well, I heard that LeBron rose the economy in Cleveland by 32%.
I believe it. Without question, I believe that.
So,
I believe it.
He's still an individual that gets an opportunity to make his decisions. And I think that as a culture, as a people, even anybody, if you have an opportunity to make your own choices and decisions, why should I be punished for that?
You're not punished for that in any other industry.
Or scorned or anything.
In any other industry, you're not punished for that.
Which is why the NCAA should be paying players.
Oh, we could have a whole episode on the NCAA. Like,
NCAA.
I despise the NCAA. The NCAA is the biggest slave owners in the world.
I'll tell you this. My brother was a blue chip player coming out because he was a McDonald All-American. Mm-hmm. Every college, which is why they recruit so heavily and make so many promises, that if they sign you and on signing day you throw that hat on your head and say, I'm committing to this school.
That day is already X amount of dollars.
That day, the school just got $1 to $3 million.
Easily. Because people are already buying merchandise. They're already trying to look on StubHub and get tickets or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
I say that the NCAA, if they want to keep these guys, first you're going to have to change the college system.
Some sort of way. There needs to be some sort of thing.
We all hate the college curriculum anyway, right? If I went to school from freshman year to senior year in high school learning about math and English and science, why are you taking me to college and starting again with prerequisite classes? Right. If I want to be a businessman, I should go to college to business and learn. I would rather spend 4 years learning business and entrepreneurship than 2 years about learning about the same fine arts. That's a waste of time.
I don't need to learn anything about Pablo Picasso, Christopher Columbus, none of that. Teach me about what I'm trying to do.
I'm trying to learn how to fix computers. Let me go to school to do that. And then and I said that the platform that now you have a person that wants to do that's an athlete, that you give him a scholarship. But what they don't talk about is the fact that you still got to pass your classes, you still got to do all of your work, but you also have to uphold this thought process that you have to be the best in sports. Right. So now you're giving that athlete, that individual, 2 jobs to be able to do.
Right.
You beating them up against the head, because if they don't do their homework, they can't play. But if they don't score well that night, then you're
gonna rip their scholarship up.
You're gonna do something else.
Yeah.
So I just said
there's no loyalty.
What they need to do is give each of these guys $75,000 to $100,000 a year,
easily.
And it doesn't.
They making millions off his back.
It doesn't have to all be in cash, but instead of the agent or the booster or somebody else giving the parents money,
right?
You know the parent is struggling. You know the parent can't afford it. Go ahead and let him get a contract and let him start learning about it now. Let him be in school for 2 years. He make $200,000 in college. He just gave mom and dad $20,000.
Allow him to hire an accountant.
Learn how to do it.
And like the schools could even have their own particular accountants that are there to teach them about the shit.
Because isn't that what college is supposed to do, is get us ready for the real world?
Exactly. So, like you said, pay the college athlete, the student athlete, X amount of dollars, and then say, hey, this is your accountant that's going to help you manage this. When that motherfucker be like, oh, I want to go to the strip club and spend this little $20,000 real quick.
No.
And because he's like, I can spend $20,000, I still got $80,000. No, Uncle Sam takes this amount.
It sounds to me that college students want to be more accountable for their careers. That's what it sounds like. So if somebody wants to be more accountable for their lives, then grant them that. Let me be accountable for my life. You know, you're talking to somebody that's an entrepreneur. Right. I left college. I did what Diddy did. I'm
Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, Michael Dell.
And little do people know that my largest inspiration is Diddy.
Yeah.
He's my largest inspiration. Like, I literally look at him daily, and I've literally watched him, emerge as this spokesman of whoever,
everything.
And he gets to choose. And what people don't understand,
and you've had Diddy on your platform several times.
He can change, and everybody follow him. He can say, "Don't call me Diddy today. Call me Sean," and everybody will do that.
Go out and vote.
Go do this. Go do that, and people will do it. It's because he became an influencer, an entrepreneurial influencer.
That's a fact.
And that became my inspiration, because he took grips of what he really wanted. And what people are mad at LeBron and all these other players is because they taking grip of what they want, but it's okay for Diddy to change his name and you call him whatever he say, but it's not okay for LeBron to go to Miami when he feel like it, go to LA if he wants to, go to Houston if he feel like it. If you ask me, let him go to Houston.
That'll be ugly. I don't want that. I won't even say in Cleveland, obviously. I feel personal about that. But
you from because you got a heart with your city.
Yeah.
But look how hard he working to get us out of the first round.
That's a fact.
The money that Dan Gilbert has made, built the man, put a team around the man.
And he's put terrible talent around him, terrible GMs around him, terrible coaches around him. No shot to Tyronn Lue. I actually like Tyronn. You know what I'm saying? What was the nigga that was an assistant coach? Mike Brown.
Mike Brown.
He was terrible. No, I thought he was a terrible coach.
Mike Brown was a great guy, great coach.
Great guy. I think he's a great guy.
The thing about Mike Brown, I think Mike Brown drank too much of the Kool-Aid in Cleveland, because Dan Gilbert was like, "This is LeBron team."
Right. Okay.
And
so maybe it wasn't his fault.
I think that Mike was in a position that he had to cater to LeBron and not really coach. He had to do more catering.
They gave him Coach of the Year when LeBron was there.
Well, because he catered to LeBron.
Exactly. And then when LeBron left, it was a lottery team. Like, Pop loses Tim Duncan, loses
and they always
Kawhi Leonard,
always top five in the West.
You know what I'm saying? Pop is a good coach.
No, but again, San Antonio is a great organization.
I agree with that.
It ain't just Pop. Let me be very clear. They have an amazing general manager, an assistant general manager, and president and owner. And they know how to do business.
Gotcha.
And they do business with real people. And they know how to be able to illustrate. They have a great scouting team. They have great assistant coaches.
Because they found Kawhi.
Exactly.
A lot of teams passed.
San Antonio, why everybody else in the world is looking for LeBron, San Antonio will go find Manu Ginobili.
Right.
That dude sitting way out here in Europe that they think is going to be great. And bring him into the organization. Bring him up. And now Manu's an NBA All-Star.
Now, I think
nobody in the world
I ain't gonna lie.
Nobody in the world knew about him, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then you go and find a Tony Parker. You go find this. You go find a Tim Duncan. And you, like, their system as an organization is great.
That's what you're saying.
The coach is playing his role. Everybody has a role. Even in business and entrepreneurship and life and leadership and anything that you do, everything and everybody has a role. And if everybody play their role correctly, then everybody will win.
That makes sense.
But if you have somebody on your team that has other ambitions, that means that the goal is not the same.
I'm sidetracking just a little bit. Do you feel that's what happened in Oklahoma with Russell and Kevin?
Well, I think in Oklahoma, the ego was very high between two people.
Gotcha.
It was just too dominant, and neither one was willing to give up any vulnerability. Kevin Durant ended up having to be vulnerable. Look at him. He went to the Warriors. He went there that first month thinking he was him.
Right.
And we seen Draymond tell him on the court in his face, nigga.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
This us.
Right.
We got you here. Kevin Durant has emerged as a better player because Kevin Durant learned how to humble himself within the trajectory of where he is.
Gotcha.
And now he's learned how to buy into the system. Look at him now playing in the system. He ain't playing in that Oklahoma system or on his own agenda. Kevin Durant is winning within the system that has been created for him.
Gotcha.
And Steve Kerr is a master at being able to put people in their best places because he played with the greatest.
Chess.
He played with the greatest player in the world.
I will agree that Mike was the greatest player.
He played with the greatest player. Leave it alone. Mike has done everything.
I will agree with that.
But also, Mike has not become Mike if he didn't have Phil.
Phil, Scotty.
It was Phil. Then he was able to introduce Scotty and Horace Grant and Steve Kerr and all those other people. Because he got, just like LeBron, if you look, it's a lot of little cool pieces around.
You got to have them pieces. Yeah.
If Popovich was coaching Cleveland today, Cleveland would win a championship.
Oh, without question.
If Popovich was the coach right now and you ask me the same question, I would say Cleveland is winning it this year.
I believe that. Because Cleveland has the correct surrounding pieces, but I don't know if we have the right people to push
they're not
those
being
pieces.
utilized right. You know what I'm saying? You can have great people around you, but if you're not motivated to be a leader enough to empower those people to be great, then you will never be great.
And that's why I think that LeBron would be better suited going to San Antonio with Kawhi. If Kawhi don't get figured out.
That's so funny that you said. I just told my brother that 3 days ago.
He'd be better going to San Antonio with
If
Kawhi.
LeBron goes to San Antonio, let's just say he goes to San Antonio. With the same team that they got right now, LeBron goes to San Antonio. None of those players will leave. Manu will play 3 more years. They will win 2 more rings.
And Manu, he could probably play 5 more years if all he got to do is just stand there and do this.
Shoot that left hand jump.
You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously.
He going to hit that.
He going to hit that motherfucker.
But if he got to work to hit it, it's a little bit tired.
And Manu, like, he got the ice in his veins. We've seen that. He got the ice in his veins. Mm-hmm. And, like, don't get me wrong, I do think Houston is a very valid contender. But their 3 biggest components, James Harden, Chris Paul, Mike D'Antoni, have never done shit. True or not?
But also,
but true or not, though.
I agree.
You see what I'm saying?
Yet when the Bulls wasn't nothing, they had to get past Detroit.
And Detroit was beating their ass.
And they was, I mean, physically and mentally.
Physically, mentally, scoreboard.
And I think that Houston is now in a position that they should be close enough to.
And they got them role pieces too, though. Clint Capella, like everything.
I chose for the Western Conference Finals. I got the Warriors and Houston in the Western Conference Finals.
What's the dude coming out? What's they off the bench guard? What's his name?
Who, Swaggy P?
Not Swaggy. No. Rockets. Not the Warriors.
Oh,
the guard down in Houston, come off the bench.
Oh wow, he in the commercials with them too.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm talking about. That motherfucker nice.
Yeah, they Houston have all the pieces.
They got all the pieces
that they need. Like, and I think that they're a year away from winning it all. I just think that the firepower in the Warriors is just so high.
So Cleveland poses no threat to Golden State this year.
I don't think so. I don't think. I mean, if it was a first round type of thing, then probably, because with Cleveland, step out. Yeah, Cleveland Cleveland needs momentum to they need to lose a couple games, then they have to get themselves together, hype themselves up. They're gonna play it, and they got to win 2 or 3. Like the Warriors yesterday. Notice they never lost one bit of composure. They was down 18. They was down 18 yesterday. And before you know it, it was 9. Then it was 5. Then all of a sudden they were up 1. And they didn't even do it with Steph.
Right.
And then and the person that really did it was JaVale McGee. Right? So
shouts out JaVale. JaVale be in the club too.
Right. But you're using a piece that don't nobody even think about.
The Shaq be laughing at.
And now, once JaVale got us back, then Clay took it home.
Oh yeah. You know, I always thought that Clay would end up leaving Golden State and coming to LA. I always thought that.
You know, I think that the Warriors are mimicking what San Antonio does, which is keeping them in a position to win. But we'll see when these big contracts start to come up if either of them take a pay cut to stay together.
I feel like Clay could be a number 1 on a lot of teams. A lot of teams.
But isn't he number 1 now?
He like number 3, maybe 4.
The man's on the best team in the NBA.
I see what you're saying. He's
having the best time in his life.
But I'm saying, on some Kyrie shit.
He making a shit ton of money.
On some Kyrie shit, he ain't number 1.
Yeah, but see,
you see what I'm saying?
Total different dynamics.
Because Clay's better than probably 90 to 95% of the league.
It's different dynamics.
And he's like the third or fourth option on his own team.
All those guys in the Warriors organization love each other.
I believe it.
And they just.
But his brother also played for the Dodgers too, though.
They love playing together. They love being around each other. They having a ball together. They understand each other. When you get to take Clay and put Clay in Cleveland,
with LeBron or without LeBron?
With LeBron.
Oh shit, he didn't excel.
But he will excel, but he probably wouldn't have the same identity because bro, it's hard playing around LeBron, bro. Everybody that get around him, the boy is so great. He forced the issue so hard
because
some guys can't take it.
It was hard to play with Kobe. You know what I'm saying?
It was hard to play with MJ.
Hard to play with MJ.
Those guys command something that's so hard. And some guys man, I'm making $10 million when I'm listening to this dude.
Right. And also too, another thing too is every single person came from an environment where they was the man.
All of them.
Everybody. People forget that.
All 4,000 of those.
Yeah.
Guys.
Everybody. Dennis Rodman averaged 28 points a game in college, and motherfuckers act like he can't score. It ain't that he can't score. The nigga got drafted by Detroit with Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas. Nigga, what you mean? You know what I'm saying?
That's the way it is. It's again, we come back to those 2 words of vulnerability and being humble enough to be able to diminish who you think you are, or what your numbers have put up, and say, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and if I was Clay, I'm averaging 16, 18 a game, playing on the number 1 tier team in the league, making great money. I got a flamethrower. I'm well respected on my team. I don't feel he don't feel uncomfortable in this place. He's good, you know. Kyrie was uncomfortable being like Kyrie wanted that next level. He wanted that. He knew it was something else in him, and he knew that he couldn't get it being with LeBron.
Mm. That's the same thing that happened. Same
thing in Oklahoma.
Yeah,
Kevin and Russell, dude.
You're right.
One of them had to go.
Even going further back, remember when that happened with Stephon and Kevin Garnett, Stephon Marbury and Kevin Garnett. They had that same little
one had to go.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So we're gonna end on one question. Where is LeBron gonna be next year? If you had to put your money on it, where would LeBron be next year?
I'll give you a two-part answer. Where's LeBron going to be at next year? LeBron is going to be wherever he wants to be.
Yeah, that's
number
a fact.
one.
That's a fact. Yeah,
that's definitely. The second part of that answer is LeBron is really dependent. In my opinion, is very dependent on how they pan out in this first round.
We're gonna win the first round. I ain't worried about that.
I'm not saying that they won't win it. I'm saying it's gonna pan like how LeBron's gonna feel going into the second round. How much was it? How much of a struggle is it, or how much less of a struggle has it been?
How much these surrounding pieces step up?
How hard did he have to work to get to that second round?
Gotcha.
His team, the guys around him, and I mean the Four Horsemen, the Mavericks and his agents and his people, and LeBron and his family, you know, I take homage to how they think because they're very strategic in their thinking. LeBron is very smart. Like he knows, like he's a great player. He don't want to play somewhere that's
a smart player. A lot of people forget how smart he is too.
I mean, I watched LeBron, and I don't think a lot of people did, but I watched him this whole summer last summer. This dude was working, even when he was on a plane, traveling to China, to the Philippines, doing all of his, appearances and all the stuff that he was doing. LeBron still was heavily trained. It was to the point he couldn't get on that ball and work that ball to the point that probably 30 days in, now he was 2 legs on the ball, holding up weights, working on his core, catching the ball in the middle of games, working out. He's doing the same thing that Michael Jordan was doing, which is why he was able to play 82 games.
Gotcha.
Where I would see LeBron, I think that his team is going to, and meaning his personal team, agents and family and stuff, I think that they're going to really reevaluate, where he should end his career, because I think this is going to year 16 is going to be the last chapter, right?
Last chapter,
It's the last chapter. So
you don't want to have that Washington Wizards chapter.
Right. Is it going to be like LeBron? Do we wait another year? I believe LeBron next year becomes a Laker. I think that LA, everybody loves LA. He has a beautiful house in LA. I think that he could end his career in the entertainment world and do more business, and still become, a great man to his family.
Now, are you saying that where it's just based on purely LeBron, or do you think there's going to be a second piece? Is it going to be Paul? Is it going to be Kawhi? Is it going to be...
No, I think this is LeBron making the decision where he goes.
Gotcha.
Wherever he goes, the organization goes. So
I agree. If I'm LeBron personally, there's no way I come to LA for the simple fact that I don't want to be in Kobe's shadow. But if I come to LA and Paul George is coming with me, I'm thinking about that.
Well, I think the tradition in LA is so strong now.
Oh, without question.
And to be a part of that tradition, like, he's accomplished. He got all the money in the world. He got rings. He's done everything. So now, like, we all, if you look at your career, right? Mm-hmm. If you look back and say, where I want to do my podcast, or where I want to do this, or how I'm going to look at that, at some point, you've had so much success that you're going to say, you know what? Let me go to where I can sit here and be sustained at least for the next 20 years. LeBron was able to look And LeBron was able to look, here's a 5-year plan, here's another 5-year plan. Now, the plan now is 10, 15 years.
That's a fact. And also,
and the tradition and the legacy. Like, to be up there with Magic and Kobe and LeBron, he ain't thinking about being in Kobe's shadow. He's thinking about being a part of the shadow.
And honestly, too, like, one thing that I will say that because Magic's running the organization, and Magic has made way more money since leaving the NBA than he made in the NBA. And I feel like LeBron's gonna be the same way.
I think that LeBron will be the first billionaire.
I think so.
Billionaire.
Cause I feel like he closed down, ain't he?
Yeah, I think he'll be the first billionaire athlete, that has made $1 billion from a league. Like Jordan is a billionaire, but he made a lot of his money
off the shoes. Yeah.
I think LeBron will be the first athlete besides Mayweather, to strike $1 billion in his industry. They're already at $240 million.
Yeah,
LeBron, I think he can ask for $400 million. I think somebody's willing to pay it. As much as people talk bad about him, as much as they talk against him, you name me one organization that won't take him.
That's not one.
I don't think that. I think even if he wanted to go play for the baseball team in Cleveland, they'll take him.
He could definitely be a Brown. Shit, you know what I'm saying?
So he's in a place of being undenied, and I think that's the ultimate goal of every athlete is to be undeniable. And when you undeniable, you make all the rules. And I applaud him and his family and his team and the people that work with him. I applaud him as a player, the way he take on the game, the way he respect the game, the way he honors himself and who he is as a player, as a person. And I believe that he deserves to go wherever he wants to go and to do whatever he wants to do and make as much money as he gets an opportunity to make.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Because like you said, like, I don't want to punch somebody else's clock. I'm going to punch my own clock. So if LeBron decides I'm going to go here and do this, even though he's still like necessarily getting a check from somebody else, he's still punching his own clock. So I get it.
You know what? Even Jesus had people that didn't believe nothing that he said, and they was right here watching him doing miracles, and they still hated on him. So
yeah,
wherever LeBron goes, if it's a million people that love him, it's gonna be 5,000. It's gonna say something that he don't like.
Right.
So do you listen to the little 5,000 murmurs, or do you go with the million people that really understand where you're going? You know,
like, LeBron gonna have fans no matter where he go.
Wherever he go.
Yeah, that's a fact. I like that. And we're gonna get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Before we go, I'm literally about to ask you something I've never asked anybody on my platform ever before.
Certainly.
Can you pray for my show? Pray for me. And just pray for my platform.
100%.
I've never asked anybody. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
It's just like the energy I'm getting right now, because like I really like you said, like you're true to who you are. You're true to your what you believe in. Mm-hmm. And like I'm in a place in my life where not only am I like very serious about my mental health, I'm also very serious about who I am. And I grew up in the church. I've been a youth minister in my church back home. And I do believe in God 100%, but like there's a lot of things that happen where my faith wavers.
I think that all of our faith wavers, and just listening to what you said, the first thing that can come to my mind is Peter when he walked on water. We all have an opportunity to walk on water.
Right.
It wasn't when Peter walked on water that he had failed. He only failed because he was worried about the waves and things that was to his left and to his right.
Right.
And if you read the story, he was walking on water while he was focused on Jesus looking at him.
Right.
It wasn't until as soon as he got distracted and looked at all the waves and all the things to his left and right, he began to drown.
And that's when Jesus reached out to him.
But he said, help.
Yeah.
And it says that Jesus immediately helped him. So if somebody comes to your immediate response and your immediate help, that means that person has always been available to you.
Always been available.
You just had to call for help.
Right.
So that just leads me to think that a lot of us have to be in a place that instead of looking at the waves and all the distractions, keep your focus. And I can even give you that as a word for your show and for yourself and for your own personal life, for you, Miles, as a man. Keep your focus. You know, you don't really understand what's inside of you until you look past all the waves and storms. Those things come. You know, you can get on a boat and just ride out and you can see, you know, it's going to be waves. It's going to be heavy currents. It's going to be light currents, you know, but if you stay focused on what your goal is and what you really want out of it, then more things will come from it. And instead of you being focused on the problems and the distractions, things that's making your faith waver, focus on the things that keep your faith strong. It's the difference. It's all perception. It's all what are you focusing on? Where is your mind really focused on? And if it's always focused on, oh, I'm not gonna make it, man. This person getting on my nerves. This situation is holding me down. You ain't had time to look at what's ahead because you're so worried about the other things. I think that's the number one testament in life is to stay focused. And to stay focused on what keeps you walking on water. And if you can do that, you're going to be doing something that nobody else has done.
Nobody else has done. I like that.
You know?
That's dope. That's dope. That's good advice.
And I think that it makes you more patient. It makes you more humble. It makes you more assertive. It makes you be more resilient in being the best that you can be. It puts you in a place that you're able to look past a lot of the things that are not going right for you and be more focused on the things that maybe I got 10 things bothering me, but I got this one thing that's holding me. And I'm going to focus on this one thing than these other 9 things. And it'll get you in a better place.
I like that.
That's really where my mindset is with a lot of stuff these days.
I like that.
And it keeps me balanced. Not saying that I don't have ups and downs because we always do, right? But I say, you know what? I'll just lay off on it today. This thing is not going right.
Right.
So instead of me getting involved in it emotionally, I'm gonna take a couple minutes and breathe, look at it from a distance, and then I'll get back in it when I can.
And that's what you said. Your millionaire friend told you that.
And that's how I take on things.
Right.
I take ownership of everything.
Right.
A great friend of mine told me, until you take responsibility of your own stuff, you'll always be blaming everybody else for your problems.
That's a fact. I agree with that.
Even if you know that person did something wrong and messed up your situation, you still have to take ownership, and because you still are a part of it.
Right.
You know, what did you do moving up to that? Did you not plan enough?
How did you allow that to happen?
Right. Did you let this? You gotta put it in your court.
Right.
Because if you put it in your court, you'll never do it again.
Right.
I remember a couple of weeks ago I was driving, just driving, not paying attention, looking at my phone, looking at my the map where I was supposed to be going, and I came upon a red light and ran a red light. And that bothered me for almost 5 days. Wasn't the fact like somebody said, how could that bother you? And I was more focused on thanking God that moment
wasn't what it was. Yeah.
Because I started having flashes of what if I got into a situation and some crazy person took off when the light turned left, when the left arrow came up, and as soon as I crossed the light, they smashed me, and I harmed myself. And it's you have to be thankful instead of always being thankful for things that God has done, maybe we should start being more thankful for the things that He didn't allow, right? So I was mad at myself for days, that because I kept having these flashes.
And on the flip side of that coin too, like, what if that person moved out too fast they got a baby in the back seat, and you hit them.
And I hit them, and because I'm looking at my phone, driving, there's so many different episodes played in my mind. And that's how the enemy starts to distract you, because all the bad stuff can happen.
Those are the distractions.
But you know what? Yeah. Instead of me being distracted about all the stuff that could have happened, I'm just going to be thankful that it did not happen. Yeah, and I was spared at that moment.
One of my prophets at my old church, he wasn't actually like a member of my church. He was a visitor, as Prophet Lyndon Jones. I remember he came to my church one day, and he was talking about like how he spun out. Cause if you from Chicago, I'm Ohio. Like
streets of snowy days of ice.
So he spun out and this and that and all kind of craziness happened. He said he was with like 2 or 3 of his homies, and like all this spinning and cars missing and this and that, and they came to a full stop, no scratch, nobody hit nothing. He got out and started praising. He got back in the car, and 3 niggas was with him. He said, y'all ungrateful niggas gotta get out of my car. Y'all ain't gonna praise God for what just happened? Like, we could have died just now. You 3 niggas gotta get out of my car. And this was like, back in the no Uber days. Like, wasn't no Uber. He kicked these 3 niggas out out his car, because he said, y'all, I jumped out, praise God for what we just had. And y'all just gonna sit here?
I can dig it.
Yeah.
So I think that we all should be thankful for, something, even if it's just one thing. Like, we be so hard on each other with religion and all these different things. Like, just ease up, ease up on the tension, and just be thankful for the things that has not happened in your life, and to be thankful for where you are in your life. And some of us, a lot of us, even many of us that has been in this club world, this Hollywood stuff, should be so thankful that we came out without any problems. I'm thankful I did not have any children.
What do I say? Children, STDs.
I didn't have
rape allegations.
There's so many things that I can be thankful for.
Yeah, without question.
That now I can still be a whole man to a woman and love her enough to give her a child and not have to be a baby daddy and not have to. And I'm not saying being a baby daddy is a bad thing. Let me be clear about that.
I get it, yeah.
But for me, in my position, I'm able to offer something, to give a woman something for the first time is a beautiful thing.
I understand.
You take her out to dinner for the first time. You do something, and if you're able to have a strong relationship, that you're able to give her a child for once, like that should be celebrated. I think that we should all kind of ease up on ourselves a little bit too. I think a lot of us are too hard on ourselves in our careers, and
I'm definitely too hard on myself.
We so hard on hustling and the grind that you haven't taken a day to be thankful.
And sometimes you be so hard on yourself that you forget the end goal.
And in the interim, you make new goals, and those weren't even for you.
And them side goals don't get you to where the fuck you like you was saying.
Way off track.
You said something about an hour ago. We've been recording like 2 hours now. You know what I'm saying? But you said something about an hour ago. You said that, like, what are you doing today? Is it conducive to your end?
If you're able to, if you're able to stand where you are today, and compare to what your goals are, to put 3 goals in front of you, and then ask those goals to look back at you and say, what I'm doing right now, the things that I'm doing right now, are they conducive to those goals that's sitting out there?
Right.
And for me being, a minister and being who I had to be, I couldn't do so many things, not because I didn't want nobody to talk about me, but to me, in my mind, in my calculation, in my guesstimation, it was not conducive to what my next goal is. So I had to extract some of those things out of it. And some of the things that we extract is not things that we really want to extract. Think about it. If it didn't mean anything, it's not going to have any meaning in your life, right? So that cup can just fall, and okay, you can walk and go to bed. But if that cup is full of something in there and you spill it, now all your attention has become on that, because now it has disrupted your day. Right. You got to clean up. You got to pick it up. You got to do all these things. Drink. So You got to be able to focus on things that are conducive to what the goal is, you know. And I think that those things are keys for us to learn how to be real successful in all of our lives. And I think even like you said, even in your life, the waves, the things that you call distractions and things that wavers your faith and doing all those things, it's just distractions. Because what if your purpose is a lot further on, a lot bigger than where you are? And so right now you're just being distracted by these little small things
that don't even matter.
that they not. Because think about it. If somebody walked up to you and gave you a $10 million check today, all those distractions that you was thinking about last week won't even be distractions.
Right. You'll forget it instantly. And if you're not focused on your end goal, that $10 million will be gone in a day. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
In a day.
Right.
Or, you know, I watched the other day. I watched All the Money about John
on Netflix.
Getty.
Yeah.
You know, the guy Getty.
Yeah.
And I watched the story. Then I was so interested in it that I started to read on the story. This man had all the money in the world.
Right.
But he didn't have nothing because he didn't love nobody and didn't nobody love him. And I mean, if you really look at the story, everybody's mad at him for not paying the ransom for his grandson and all that other stuff, you know. There's some real heavy...
Yeah, I didn't watch it, so I heard about it, but I didn't watch it.
There's some real heavy pieces in it that if you really look at it, like, I want to watch it a second and third time because there's so much meaning in it to talk about so many different things. But what I gathered from it at the end, he had all the money in the world, decided to pay. He never wanted to give money to the father or to the mother, you know. So he really destroyed a marriage. He destroyed a family. He destroyed everything around him because he wasn't able to love nobody. And at the end, he dies looking at a painting of a mother and his child.
Damn.
And he said, out of all his paintings, that was the most beautiful painting that he had. So I'm looking at it, I said, but the painting is of a mother and his child. So he is.
Could have had that, yeah. He did have.
That's what he is so focused on. He wasn't even focused on the money no more.
Right.
He still ended up paying the ransom. But then the kid got his ear cut off, and he ended up being confined to a wheelchair for 30 years because he was overdosed on drugs and died. So the Getty, even though the story is so big, he destroyed generations that could have surpassed and should have been probably like the Rothschild family and all of them. But because of his selfishness and his egotistic like ways and how he was just, everything was a thing to him. If it didn't have any money value, it didn't have no value to him. Now, he got his grandson that's being kidnapped by these people. And in the interim of that, he goes out and spends $1.5 million on a painting. When these people...
How much was the ransom?
The ransom started at $17 million. They end up settling for 3.4. But to get from the 17 to the grandson lost the ear.
Right.
You know, he lost his family.
Yeah.
Like, it's so many things that you look at, and I think it's a great story to really watch and understand. Like,
I'm gonna check it out.
You know, he wavered so much in so many different things, and he lost everything. So I mean, I can just say to you, you know, it's no need to waver, because in your wavering, you're gonna lose way more wavering.
Oh yeah, without question.
You know, then stand focused on what it is that really matters.
Without question. Because like a lot of times we're not focused on the end goal. Yeah. We focused on the right now. You know, so we focus on the short term.
Instant.
Yeah.
The instant oatmeal. But yeah, that's really what I would say my final word is, and let's pray.
That's what's up. I appreciate that very much.
Father God, I come to you once again and say thank you for my friend and my brother, Miles, and all the things that he's doing. And God, first of all, we ask that you give him strength to not waver. Allow him to be Peter in the situation, that he's able to stay focused and not be Peter, and be focused on the waves and all the distractions and the things that are around him. And God, we bind those things, because you said whatever we bind in heaven, you will bind on earth, and whatever we bind in heaven and bind on earth, you will bind it and loose it. And God, we loose all We lose happiness, we lose joy, we lose protection. And God, we just ask him to get rid of all those things that are around him, the distractions. And really, God, at the end of the day, those things are just voices. It's just voices just communicating him not to be on his level or to go to the place that he needs to be. So, God, we just ask you to give him strength to be able to climb higher, to aim higher, to be the best that he has purpose to be. And, God, give him the divine sight, give him the divine knowledge that he's able to see things from a mile away, hear things from a mile away, and be able to have a mouth that he's able to speak things into, and have the power that he can speak things into existence and to be destroying things that don't need to be around him. And God, we just thank you for his business. We thank you for this podcast, God. We ask you to richly bless this podcast, that whatever this thing is being done, whatever vision that you have given him, that it multiplies 100 million times, God, that is able to be reached out and spoken to people all over the world. And is able to give entertainment to people that need it. And God, mostly anything and everything, God, allow him to have financial retractions to this. Allow him to be blessed financially from what he has, because every vision that you gives us, it all has a financial reward. It all comes with a price. And God, even though we pay a cost in bruising, and we pay a cost in wavering our faith, we pay a cost in all those things, God, you will repay. And we know that when you repay astronomically. And we thank you for that, God. And we thank you for the things that we're doing and we're going to do, the things that we've done. And we thank you for you just being in our life and covering us. And we thank you for all the angels that you put around us to keep us grounded. And God, allow him to be the man that you purposed him to be. Give him divine order his steps in the way that he should go. And we thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. That was powerful. I haven't had somebody pray for me in probably years. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that very much, man.
And I told you a bunch of times, anytime you need me, man, just hit me up.
That's without question.
100%.
So we about to close up out of here. Before we go, please let us know where we can find you at on social media, find your church.
So definitely. City of Refuge. Bishop Noel Jones is my pastor. Elder Jimmie Maggette. You can find me on Facebook, Jimmie Maggette, JIMMIE Also Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all are at Jimmie Maggette.
My nigga.
All good. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Love you, bro. Thank you very much, man.
This is awesome. I love it.
Poolside chats. First time I got prayed for on the show.
Making history.
Yeah, definitely. So, but this the first time you're on the show, but this will not be the last. I promise you on that.
You can call me anytime. I will be right here.
My man. We out of here.
Peace.